Time is 6:30 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of Borough of Freehold for February 2nd, 2026 is now called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting is provided at least 48 hours prior to commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting has been provided by posting a copy of the public meeting dates on the municipal bulletin board, by sending a copy to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger, and by filing a copy with the municipal clerk. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Chief Collier, could you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman DiBenedetto.
Here.
Councilman Friedman.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Reich.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilwoman Schutzer. Here.
Okay, item 4 this evening is workshop discussion. I don't think we have any workshop, but I'm going to ask our administrator, Mr. Gallo, if you have your administrator's report from last meeting. You want to go through that? Please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll briefly synopsize some of the activities we've been working on over the past month and answer any questions that you may have. With regard to redevelopment, we're working on, obviously, the hometown redevelopment project, and we're just tidying up some loose ends with regard to parcels that need to be acquired and the borough property that is going to be transferred to the developer. One of the parcels has the firehouse annex on it, and we need to find that a new home, which we're working diligently with the fire department to arrive at a temporary location where they can operate from. Victory Court redevelopment project we have on our agenda tonight. The referral of the redevelopment plan for Victory Court, that's the former KFM project, and that was located at Court Street and Broad, and it's comprised of 16 townhomes and 4 affordable flats, corner of Court and Broad Streets. And that is going to the planning board for review and comment, consistency review on their redevelopment plan. 200 Park Avenue, the project continues to be in resolution compliance. Once that's completed, they can start with their construction. I spoke with the potential developer for Nestle's today. He's still in negotiations with Nestle Corporation, but he feels they're getting close to acquiring the property, and he has a proposal for a manufacturing facility in the near future. We have a meeting on February 10th with the new owners of Freehold Raceway, and they're going to present us with their vision of the world and the way they think they'd like to redevelop the property. Obviously, that's something that we have to review and comment on and tweak to the borough's liking, and we'll see what comes out of that discussion. The redevelopment plan for Park Avenue is also on for tonight for referral to the planning board. With regard to roadway projects, we have Bond and Liberty Street, which should be ready to go in March as soon as the weather breaks. The contract has already been awarded to Lancia Construction, and they're ready to go as soon as they have an opportunity to warm up the community a little bit. We also have been awarded funding for the resurfacing of Robertsville Road, Mead, and Runyon Roads. That project we need to assign an engineer on, and then we have another grant for Elm, Patton, Michael, Pittenger, and portions of Center Street. We need to assign an engineer to that, and that should be ready to go at the next meeting. We're also waiting for Abington to put the Main Street Crosswalk Beacon project out to bid. That's ready to go for the safety beacons at the mid-block crosswalk on Main Street and the Throckmorton and Main Street beacons as well. We have park projects that are in various states, including the upgrade of Lenore Street Park. That should be ready to go out to bid in the near future. Musgrave Park, we've identified some environmental issues which are being remediated next week, and then Green Acres will allow us to move forward with that. Veterans Park, we have funding in place for the stairway that needs to be installed, and that'll be out to bid and installed prior to the summer. Liberty Street Park, Phase 1, we did an environmental assessment, and they identified an area of concern, which is being remediated next week. Once that's done, they will reimburse us for Phase 1, and then we can go out to bid on Phase 2. Court Street School is under construction with Shorelands Construction. They are due to be completed by June of this year. We're looking at proposals for the public safety facility for professional services, architecture, engineering, and planning, and we're hopeful to award a design contract on that in the near future. Let me see what else we got here. We're moving forward with the recodification online. We're moving forward with the wayfinding project. We have some feedback that we need to give the people who are designing it on how we want to see things look, and we'll move forward with that. Our overcrowding initiative, code enforcement, is in the middle of being reorganized. We had hired staff who started today, and the department is being set up as an independent function. We'll be meeting with them this week to discuss how they can attack overcrowding. The lead service line replacement project, DEP has approved our financing through their iBank, which includes loan forgiveness, so we can move forward with the design and bidding of that project. We have the Battle Monmouth Historic Trails project, which we've been working on. We finalized the design of the display boards for each of the historic stops on the Battle of Monmouth Trail. We've ordered the mounting boards, are in the process of getting site permission to display the boards at the various locations. The county has also arranged for a companion website to go along with the walking tour, and that was done with support from Joe Barris and his staff, and you'll be able to look at the website while you're visiting these locations, and you can read about the actual history that took place. We're still working on Barkalow and Brentwood with the traffic issues. The traffic study has been completed by our consultant. We compared the data of their findings with those that were identified by our police department, and our next step is to have a community meeting with the neighborhood to discuss the various and possible improvements that we can do to calm traffic in that neighborhood. And Safe Routes to Schools, at the last meeting we awarded a contract to SVS, which is one of the state's approved engineering firms. We've sent down the request for award to them. Once the state approves it, we can engage SVS and move forward. It is going to be a lengthy process, but Safe Routes to Schools is finally going to get done. That's most of what we've been up to.
Thanks. Any questions from council for Administrator as a report?
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Item 5, Human Relations Advisory Committee Annual Report. I'll turn this over to Councilmember Rogers.
Thank you. The Human Relations Advisory Committee is a committee that reports directly to Mayor and Council, makes recommendations on projects and activities that can support the community, and they go out into the community and just support some of the already established activities by having a table or, helping out, doing whatever we need to do. So one of the requirements is that we do an annual report, and our secretary, Jenny, is here tonight. Jenny Conger is here tonight to present that report.
Reluctant secretary. So I think the intent is to do this in December, so maybe 2026 will be our year where we do it on time. But to provide to you all as a council and to the mayor a review of the work that we have done in 2025 and a look towards 2026. The committee began 2025 with our first official recommendation to Borough Council, recommending the slogan, Freehold Borough, where hearts, minds, and doors are open, to be added to the borough website, on headers for email blasts, newsletters, and social media posts. At this time, that recommendation has not been acted upon by mayor or council. The committee recommended the first annual Unity Day designation and a Unity Day walk, which was held on April 5th, 2025, to reinforce community pride and to get neighbors talking to neighbors. It was a big success with members of the community as well as members of council in attendance. This year's Unity Walk has been scheduled for April 11th, and we hope to see everyone there. Committee members were happy to attend and support the Freehold Borough Library at Storytime events for the Transgender Day of Visibility, also in April 2025. The committee does seek to work with the library again in 2026 for other such readings and or speakers. The committee recommended and continues to advise that mayor, council, and municipal employees participate in various diversity and inclusion training and conflict resolution seminars to be better able to communicate with residents when it comes to topics that are perceived to be controversial. The committee recommended a number of flag raisings in 2025 and will expand on those in 2026. Flag raisings in 2025 included LGBTQ Recognition Month and Juneteenth. In months where a flag was not available, proclamations were prepared for council meetings, including Hispanic Heritage Month. A flag will be ordered for the Hispanic Heritage Month to be raised in 2026. The committee was able to provide Freehold Borough Believes garden flags at various events throughout the year. The flags state, in Freehold Borough, we believe in hope, peace, kindness, love, justice, and equality. The flags represent the purpose of HRAC and enhance the community spirit. Many residents expressed their wish that we had more to replace the ones that had faded, but unfortunately we had to advise those residents that we're currently unable to do so, as we have not been allocated a budget. The committee had a presence at numerous events in 2025, including the Unity Walk, Transgender Day of Visibility, the Juneteenth celebration, Old Freehold Day, Latino Festival, the September 11th Memorial, Vaccines and Veggies, and the Senior Holiday Luncheon. We plan to attend all of those and more in 2026, hoping to expand to other events if possible. The committee is pleased to be able to partner with other groups and agencies for these important events, but we feel that we would be able to provide additional services as an independent committee if we had access to a budget, especially since we are unable to raise funds due to the restrictions on groups not classified as commissions. So that is basically 2025 in a nutshell. Looking forward into 2026, the committee is looking to host a Utility Assistance Day in 2026. Annually, the Board of Public Utilities goes to various towns to present options to residents seeking help with their electric and gas bills. The committee is requesting that this year's site be considered for Freehold Borough. The committee is also looking to host a program on the topic of financial literacy in 2026. The committee has posted various items of diverse interest on our Facebook page to inform people of events or services available for various topics, including Equal Opportunity Support Service, an organization which aims to assist families of differently abled individuals with special needs, find resources like transportation, physical therapy, respite care, recreation, job training, etc. The committee is looking to collaborate with Mayor's Wellness Committee on setting up sign language training courses for members of the community. The framework for our proposed Befriend a Neighbor program is being developed in 2026. The committee has been working on getting a program together that will match volunteers with senior citizens in the borough that need assistance with chores like shoveling snow, maybe not this past week, minor repairs, yard work, etc. The committee was happy to gain some new members this year and hopes to add more in 2026 to increase the diversity within our committee, especially to those who can represent our Spanish-speaking neighbors. The committee recommends that mayor and council set up a gathering of all borough volunteer committees in 2026 to have the members get to know each other and gain an understanding of what each committee does. Further, the Human Relations Advisory Committee would like to present our goals of inclusion and diversity with those other committees so that they can incorporate these concepts in their planning and operations as well. Due to recent unsettling events taking place on the federal level, the committee feels it is more important than ever that the Borough Council and the rest of our community actively support and protect the rights of our immigrant friends and neighbors. We seek to be more present at council meetings, and we remain open to hearing from the members of the community through 2026 and beyond. Mayor and Council, we encourage everyone to follow our Facebook page, repost our information on the Borough page, Share your thoughts and feelings with us individually or as a group, and never ever hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns. HRAC and its volunteer members remain dedicated to fostering inclusion, diversity, and equity in our beautiful community, and we want everyone to love and respect the people in this town as much as we do. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
I just want to add that as our committee has found our place, the members of this committee, even when we were just a few, have really committed to making Freehold Borough an inclusive place to live. There is much diversity in our community. There is much that we need to do to make everyone feel welcome. And we have been presenting these ideas to our friends and to our neighbors so that they know that we're here for them to help them. So I just want to express my appreciation for all of the work that they have done and that I foresee them doing this year. I want to thank our chairperson, Claire, our vice chairperson, Adam, our secretary, Jenny, all of our members, I can't forget our social media person, Malia. They have all really stepped up and worked hard to make sure information gets out there, and that, the word is starting to spread that we're here to help our community, to bring our community together in whichever ways that we can. So thank you all for the hard work that you do. We also have another member, Marie Chapman, here as part of the Human Relations Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
I just have one comment. I love the Befriended Neighbor program, and we looked at that. We didn't call it that, but years ago we looked at that. And there was a really big issue with liability. And so I would just encourage you to work closely with our attorney and with Steve Gallo on that.
We're actually looking to partner with an outside organization to kind of alleviate some of that liability rather than take it on as a borough project. So we've had some responses of people who are interested in working, but we really need someone outside of the borough to just work with us and be like a liaison for us to get volunteers.
Well, if there's any borough involvement, we need to work closely with our attorney
we're aware.
to make certain that,
Yep,
okay.
thank you.
Thanks. Any other council comments? Great, thank you. Thank you for the work you guys are doing, too. Appreciate it. Okay, item 6, the approval of minutes reorganization meeting, January 4th, 2026.
I'll offer that, please. I'll second them.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer? Yes.
Okay, the minutes of our reorganization meeting for January 4th, 2026 are approved. Item 7 is a second reading of public hearing ordinance 2026/1, amending chapter 10.32.100, towing and storage fee schedule of the Code of the Borough of Freehold, establishing standard and fees for towing. This is a second reading public hearing. I'd like to open up to the public. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no public comments, I'd like to move that we close the public comment section.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer? Yes.
Okay, the public comment section is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2026/1 and authorization of publication.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer? Yes.
The ordinance 2026/1 is adopted. Item 8 is second reading and public hearing ordinance 2026/2, amending, fixing, determining salaries of certain officers, positions, and employees of the Borough of Freehold. Again, this is a second reading and public hearing. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the audience, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer? Yes.
Public comment section is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2026/2 and authorization of publication.
I'll offer that.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2026/2 is adopted. Item 9 is our consent agenda. Just a note that matters listed under the items of consent agenda are required to conduct the day-to-day operations of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any items, that item will be considered separately. Would someone like to move consent agenda items CR1 through CR14?
I'll make the motion to move those, please.
And I'll second,
Okay,
yeah, discussion.
sure.
No.
You like
Could we, could
discussion?
we please move CR1 to for a separate issue?
Okay. That being said, would someone like to move consent agenda CR2 through CR14 for adoption?
I'll make the motion to move those, please.
Second?
Any discussion?
Yes, judging on CR14, spring right around the corner.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes, but I'm abstaining on CR5 as well as CR14 K and L, please.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda items CR2 through CR14 are adopted. Go back to item CR1, honoring Kevin O'Brien for 50 years of service with the Frio First Aid Emergency Squad. Someone like to move that?
I'll make a motion to move that, please.
And I'll second it.
Discussion?
Yes. We were unaware when we presented the 50-year service resolution to Kevin O'Brien. We were unaware that 65-year service member Charlie Biscaglia was also being awarded that night. He received a resolution from the township. We were unaware that he was going to be there. So we did not have a resolution to give him. So I would like to, by the way, Jeff presented as council president, presented the resolutions and did an absolutely eloquent job of including Charlie. But I would like for it to be read into the record that Charlie Biscaglia was there and he, excuse me, has given 65 years of service to the First Aid Squad.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda item CR1 is adopted. Thank you, Sharon. That's the end of our consent agenda. Item 10 is the approval of bills.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Sorry.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to get my water.
A little spill here. Our bill list for this evening's meeting is approved. Item 11, we have a redevelopment presentation. A is West Main Street Holdings LLC, change of use, second, third, and fourth floors, 10 to 12 West Main Street, Block 71, Lot 9. And B is 14 to 16 West Holdings LLC, change of use, second and third floors, 14 to 16 West Main Street, Block 71, Lot 8. I'd like to ask our attorney, Mr. Cosgrove, if you would just set this up for us, please.
Mr. Mayor, there's two hearings regarding applications regarding the 2019 Freehold Center for rehabilitation plan area. One will be 1416 West Main Street, and the second will be 10-12 West Main Street. I spoke with counsel who will be making the presentations. Since a lot of these questions are going to overlap on both applications, there's going to be a presentation by counsel of his witness as to the two separate applications. And on behalf of the borough, we have Mr. Taylor from CME who will
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and I agree, council and I did have a discussion beforehand. Salvatore Alfieri, Cleary, Giacobi, Alfieri, and Jacobs on behalf of the property owner who is seated to my left behind me, in case you have questions of him. 10-12 West Main, we have 4 floors. Second, third, and fourth floor are approved for office space, but we're trying to convert them to 2 apartments on the second floor and then duplex type units on the third and fourth floor that the architect will describe momentarily. The parking, we're entitled to essentially a credit, because when you take the office space and determine what the parking is for that versus the parking for the apartment's a lower parking demand, and therefore we do not need parking variance relief. Similarly, for the second property, it's only 3 stories, but the same issue. If you take the parking for the office versus the parking for the apartments is less, and therefore we don't need variance relief for that. We did submit a lease. The applicant does own a nearby property, and there's some questions about the numbers, but the end result of it is that he, as a good landlord, as opposed to an ordinance requirement, he wants to set aside one parking space for each of these new units for overnight parking, because that property is a mixed-use property, and we'll get into that momentarily as well. And the office use leaves during the day, so at night those spaces are available, so he wants to let those residents, if they have a car and they need.
How many spaces are on that property currently?
Total, I don't know, the applicant will have to tell us the exact.
That would be a critically important number for this calculation.
Yes, and the truth is that he's doing that as an accommodation, not because it's required. So the truth is, if you wanted to pull that out, we still comply with the ordinance. But I just wanted to give you that by way of background, big picture. We do have an architect present that we're going to need to have affirmed that way.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you affirm that your testimony this evening will be truthful? Thank you.
Okay, please state your name and credentials on record, please.
Israel Feldman, licensed architect, Lakewood, New Jersey.
All right, speak up, because I'm not sure they can hear you.
Yeah, maybe you
come
close
to
the
the
mic
come
just to
the
get it on the record.
Israel Feldman.
I'll hold it.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that's fine.
Israel Feldman, licensed architect in the state of New Jersey.
So the plans that I'm holding are the plans that have been submitted already, correct? So you're going to run through, since we didn't bring an easel, I'll hold it.
Okay.
You could run through
Got
for the
it.
board each property one by one.
Okay, so now we're starting with the 10-12 units. And on the main second floor, it contains two-bedroom dwelling units, which is mostly, it's a smaller unit, like close to between 900 and 1,000 square feet per unit on the second floor. Going up to the third and fourth floor, you have an additional 2 units. It's 2 duplex units, so you have the main living area on the third floor with a center interior stairwell, going up to an additional bedroom unit on the 4th level. So you basically have a total of 4 units, two bedroom units on the 2nd level, and two additional duplex units that extend from on the 3rd and 4th level.
And those units are larger than.
And those are larger. Those are approximately 2,000 square foot 2-bedroom units, and these are approximately 1,000 square feet per unit.
Will there need to be new utility service, HVAC, et cetera?
I'm saying, yeah, any HVAC is going to be hidden here on the lower roof deck. That's going to be hidden from the main. You won't be able to see it from West Main Street because it's all hidden behind the 14-16 building, which is right in front of the lower level roof deck. That's behind the 14-16. And that's going to, all the future and existing HVACs are on that lower level roof deck, which is approximately.
And these units are going to have full HVAC?
Correct.
And there's currently HVAC.
Correct. There's currently, as indicated on the plans, you see there that we outlined all existing units, and any future proposed units are going to be located there behind the building, so it's not going to be visible from.
What about venting stacks?
Venting stacks.
You're adding bathrooms, you're adding other sorts of.
Yeah, we're proposing to add, but obviously in terms of like visibility.
Not out the side of the building, right?
No, not obviously it's going to be more located adjacent to the behind. We have plenty of space behind the 14-16 building, which.
Yeah, no, I understand, but if you're putting toilets
Yeah, toilets, in terms of venting, yeah, vertical venting,
Stacks.
yeah.
You're
So
gonna
are
have
there-
stoves, you're gonna have to have venting stacks.
Any local ordinance requirement in terms of concealment? Are
Yes.
there any?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously we'll fully comply with any requirements. I'm saying, if there are any requirements, we're definitely gonna fully comply.
I have another question on that one. On this section here, where
Okay.
this door goes into, what is all that? It's so small, I can't see what all this stuff
Uh-huh.
is. On this fourth floor, is it a mechanical space? It looks like some sort of,
It's where that
is that like a
Hot
tenant?
water tank.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, and then this space here, do tenants have access to this, or is this just emergency access, or no access at all?
Yeah, that's part of the hallway, that's part of the corridor.
That's part of it?
Yeah, that's part of the corridor.
All right. On the fourth floor,
Wait, hold on a second though.
but I don't see any doors.
In terms
So,
of what?
so, all right, let's take these spaces one at a time. So the
Yeah.
space that's in Unit D is a mechanical space.
Space in Unit D.
Unit D, second level.
Okay, second level, okay.
Page
Actually, the
two.
second level is Unit A and
No,
Unit B.
no, no. Unit D, level 2.
Level 2, there's no Unit D on level 2.
There's a level 2 of Unit D.
On the
All the
second
way on
floor
your- all the way
plan,
on
you
your
have
right.
a Unit A and a
It'd be
Unit
the
B.
fourth floor.
All the way on your right.
On the fourth floor, okay.
Unit D, level 2.
Okay, Unit D level 2, okay.
There's a mechanical space on the left-hand side that's
Okay.
accessible from inside the
Okay.
space. Is that a landlord space or tenant space?
No, I'm not sure about that. Is that a landing space or this space? The furnace, it's like a general, like this. Is that, it's a tenant space.
Tenant space.
All right, and then how about the side on the other side that has no doors to it?
It looks like a hallway that goes up to the roof.
Correct.
And that's landlord access to roof access?
Correct.
No storage of no
No.
storage of,
Nothing on it. So no tenant access, whatever.
No.
So does that mean that there's going to be some sort of control at the stairs on the third floor to prohibit tenants from going up to that fourth floor hallway?
Fourth floor hallway. That is not-
On the fourth floor, on the right-hand side, there's a hallway that goes to the, it's a hallway.
it has
It
stairs
has
going
stairs
down
that goes down to the third floor.
Okay.
and
If
roof
it's-
access.
If it's
Okay.
landlord only, does that mean that there's a control that's going to prevent tenants from going up on that stairs on the right-hand side to the fourth floor?
I guess so. I mean, actually, that's going down. Are you talking about interior stairwells going down
No.
back to the
If
third floor?
No. If those stairs are going down in
Correct.
that landlord section hallway, people can still go up downstairs.
Okay,
On the third floor, you have a set of stairs.
okay.
Stairs go up to the, on the third
I
floor,
see
the
that.
stairs
I
are
mean,
gonna go
that's
down
part of the
section.
corridor. So what are you asking? That's part of the
So I'm,
hallway.
I'm asking if the stairs on the third floor
Correct.
that
Going
lead
to the
up
fourth.
to the fourth floor will
Okay.
have a control that prevents
Anybody.
tenants, anybody but the landlord,
Are they
from
gonna?
accessing.
Yeah, that's only gonna be, that's only gonna be, that's gonna be, I'm assuming that's the case.
The landlord indicates, correct, it will be locked and only accessible by the landlord
Okay.
or the property manager.
Because right now, we have, people go up on the roofs of a lot of those buildings.
Additionally, we want to make sure that if it's meant to be a landlord space, it's not also being used as a tenant storage space.
I got it.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
And then the second building, and then we can get into, obviously, more detail with the professional report. The second building, floor plan, is 5 units,
Total of 5 units, right?
5 new units.
And this only has three stories instead of 4 stories, right? That's
Correct. And in your planner's report, she indicates that because there are 5 units, one of the units has to be an affordable unit, the 2-bedroom unit, and the applicant understands and agrees that he will have to provide 1 2-bedroom unit as a deed-restricted affordable unit. You want to run through the floor plan of this building?
Okay, so here we have on the second floor plan, we have 2 1-bedroom units here at the left side. And then you have 1 2-bedroom unit and 2 additional 2-bedroom dwelling units on the 4th level. third level, sorry, this doesn't have to be fourth level. So the second floor contains a total of 3 dwellings, 2 one-bedroom dwelling units, and 1 two-bedroom dwelling unit, and on the third level, there's 2 additional two-bedroom dwelling units. And with 1 interior stairwell, and we actually do have a second, fire escape as well, which is really not needed per code, but as far as, our analysis, the maximum, exit required here in this in this multifamily floor is only a maximum of 1 if it contains less than 4 dwelling units per floor. So we're actually providing 2 exits, but we're only required to have 1.
Questions on this one?
Questions on both, but do
Yeah.
you want us to wait for your end of the presentation?
Well, yeah, I mean, then there were a bunch of comments that are raised in the board professional report, so we figured we'd do it one time.
Yeah, so whenever you're
I mean, I know what my question.
set with the presentation,
Yeah.
we'll defer to the engineer.
That's it, we wanted to just give you the big picture and then go through the details with your professional.
Appreciate it.
Which one you want to do first, 10, 12?
Uh,
There's a
rock,
lot of
paper, scissors?
overlap. There's an overlap, so,
Yeah, let's do 10, 12.
okay. Trevor or Barbara, who wants to start?
Flip a coin. Take your
I'll
pick.
Ladies
You're
first.
gonna fumble for it.
I guess, I was looking for testimony with respect to this building, these units, particularly the duplex units, appear to have dens and lounges. And so,
Yeah,
the borough has previously had concerns with these spaces being converted into additional living spaces.
there's no intent to have them be used as living space, and we have no issue with the request or suggestion for a deed restriction.
And would, you also make them, if the council chooses to act,
And a provision in the lease.
at a provisional lease, but many of the dens and at least one of the lounges has doorway access that a door could easily be installed. So typically when we see dens, we request that the access actually be
Widen.
widened and that there not be a door.
Can I interject? I was looking at the plans earlier, for both units, for the unit D level 1 and unit C level 1. Honestly, I think we kind of need to do away with the dens completely.
I was gonna say the same exact
So,
thing.
for 2 reasons. One, because of the fact that if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's gonna be a duck at some point in time. But it also really,
There's a nice kitchen space.
it really
Dining room area.
closes off the open area that you have by the kitchen in the unit D. And the same thing in unit C. It could be a bigger kitchen area, it could be, part kitchen, part sitting area, something like that.
I mean, how many dens do you know only access a bathroom?
Yeah. And then at that point, in
Right.
unit D, if
Mike-
you get rid of the den, then that bathroom
Michael?
thing becomes one.
I wasn't.
How many dens do you know only access a bathroom?
In here,
To the bedroom.
But it's the only thing it accesses.
It doesn't
Like,
access.
I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends in the den and they all gotta
Oh,
go
you
through the
need to get an access
bathroom
point
to get
from
to
the
the den.
living area.
That
So you
seems-
want it opened up so it's
I
tied to the
think
kitchen?
that for
Yeah.
2 reasons. One, it removes the concern that these spaces are ever going to be potentially used as bedroom spaces. At the same time, I also think that it opens up the floor plans and gives larger common spaces.
That's fine.
And that also means that the bathroom in unit D can become a full bathroom. It doesn't have to have a separate vanity space. That dividing wall between the tub, toilet, and the vanity can be removed, and now you have a full bathroom adjacent to bedroom number 2, and then the rear bedroom has a full bathroom adjacent to it as well.
That's fine.
But I also think we need the deed restrictions, the lease requirements for these lounge spaces and living rooms. Like, bedrooms are bedrooms, the only place people can sleep. Every other room that has some sort of restriction, no bed, no sleeping, no nothing.
That's fine. And we did speak today when we were preparing about the fact that he may want to open that space up, so you already had contemplated that, but that's fine. We have no issue with it.
Sorry,
Yeah, Barbie, stand.
apologies.
No, thank you.
And then the other question was to go through the lease, the parking spaces.
Right,
for the
so,
property.
so I'm gonna call the client up on that, because he's the only one who knows that third property that's not part of this application other than for parking, just so he can explain what's there and how many spaces are there. We just have to have you.
Yes, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you affirm that your testimony this evening will be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're talking about, the property, is it 58?
58 West Main
Right, so
Street.
can you explain to the board who's there, what kind of tenants, what kind of uses, and how many parking spaces there are?
Okay. Right now, we have, the first floor is roughly 2,400 square feet. We have 2 offices right now. And upstairs, we have 2 apartments. 2 apartments.
How many bedroom?
One is one bedroom apartment, one is a 2-bedroom apartment. So we need upstairs, we need a total of 3 or 4 parking spots that we got approved. Then we change the use from offices upstairs to apartments. And then right now we have 10 parking spots. We can extend more, because I have more space in the back, I have grass there. I can expand more if I want.
We'd have to come back for.
Right,
Zoning.
I'm just saying, right now, as it is, I'm talking about as it is, we have 10 spots for sure. Parking. Without parking on the grass, we have 10 parking spots. And
Above and beyond those apartments, what?
No, total, right?
total 10.
Total of
Go
10.
behind the building.
Total on the building, we are right at 10, yes.
So how many do we need for, so just real quick, so 2,400 square feet of office,
I think it's like one space per 400 square?
I think that is correct.
I think,
That's
2,400, one space for 400, that would be 6, plus 3.8 for the 2 apartments, would be 10 spaces total.
So,
So they would have 6 spaces available for tenant parking overnight.
And the agreement's for 9.
The agreement was for either 5 or 9, there was conflicting language with that.
So he only has, at the current parking configuration, 6 spaces that would be freed up during the evening hours when the offices aren't on site. That's all he has total on that property,
Right,
correct?
but I can extend
We
more.
would have to come to
Right,
the planning
right,
board.
yeah, so
saying-
let's,
That's something else, right?
let's
right.
talk about the current.
Current,
conditions.
right. Okay, we have 6.
So we have 6 total. And there's, which would not provide 1 space per apartment, but still we're doing this just to make it.
No, you definitely, I mean, if you're gonna have any, a tenant's gonna need the place to park a vehicle, and there's no parking in the McGacken Triangle, so.
Right.
I mean, whether you actually quote need parking under the code or not,
Doesn't mean.
it doesn't mean you don't need parking, you need
Right.
parking.
Right, that's what we're giving it. Now, not every tenant has a car, they
Right.
need parking.
Now, will that, and that'll be part of any long-term
Lease.
agreement
Right.
with the property, so
So
it'll run with the
basically,
land?
Right.
Yeah, the document that was submitted would need to be cleaned up to be consistent with the testimony. If this were to pass, we would have to clean that up to demonstrate it's only 6. I think your ordinance, and it's within 700 feet of the property. Your ordinance says there has to be some signage or something, so we're gonna have to address all those comments. Or those ordinance provisions, I should say.
What are those people who are using those properties at night, those parking spots at night? What do they do during the day with their cars? Just drive them around all day, or what happens?
They will go to work. What do you mean? People have a car to go to work, I believe.
And they're all,
Then
they're-
if people work the regular hours,
yeah,
from 9 to 5.
if people work. If people don't work, what do they do with their cars that they're parking at 58 West Main at night? What do they do with those
We
during the
have
day?
to find a spot.
They're gonna have to.
I mean, if this was all rented as office space, then all these spaces would have to find spots, because there's no parking.
Yeah, but that's an if. We're looking at
Well,
apartments.
but the if is also the concern, because if you end up renting more of it as
Right.
office space, then you're gonna,
Needs parking.
We're
then
gonna
you're
have
gonna
a
need
much
parking,
bigger
and then you're gonna have a conflict with this parking arrangement. See, some of these parking arrangements get really convoluted, very hard to follow.
I mean, honestly, if we didn't come with this 58, we just said,
No, I,
you know, it's 6 more than we would otherwise have to accommodate some of these tenants. Right, because we, again, you know, the ordinance just says we don't need to provide parking. We understand the reality is parking, people have to park somewhere.
Where did I read? I mean, I read this thing, my eyes were like rolling around my head. trying to figure all this stuff out, because I'm not an architect. Where did I read that there was a deficit of 13 spots?
So what it is that the building, per the redevelopment plan, is given credit for what the existing use was. So previously, these upper floors were all office spaces. So parking was calculated at 1 per 400 square feet. And so that created, we got the exact numbers right here. So, at 1 space per 400 square feet for just those upper office, excluding the retail, since that's not being touched, that would have given them a credit for 21 spaces. The proposed number of units in this building only generates a need for 8 spaces. So they've actually reduced the parking demand associated with the site by 13 spaces.
Okay, so it's not a deficit of 13 spaces.
It's the extra that's actually left over from what we throughout the previous office use. So there's not a new parking demand generated by the use.
And those spots are not considered, are they considered part of the McGacken thing?
So, like when they did this redevelopment plan, properties got credit for what the use was at the time. And in this mythical calculation world, they exist in the market, in the McGacken tribe. They do not, but, you know, this also got all messed up by that building next to El Masan when that got sold. The parking lot across the street that used to be part of their parking got sold separately, and so we lost 25 spots there too. But that's not this applicant's issue.
So yes, the 13 is not like a current deficit, it's just the difference between what credit they previously received and what the current parking demand is associated with the other floors.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd be curious to hear from Barbara the difference, the additional theoretical spaces. Do they, now they evaporate, now they're gone?
Yeah, it would be abandoned.
Right, so you cannot use them at any point in the future for another project, they're not transferable, they're not fungible, okay, great.
Correct. That is critically important. And you have the ability to bind you and the other Michael to that?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one other question regarding the HVAC equipment. You said would be going on the 14-16 building.
behind on the lower roof deck, that's behind.
Is there like a cross
Each building's gonna have their own HVAC.
Yeah, but they're all gonna be located behind
Yeah,
it.
each building, each rooftop will have its own for each building, but they're behind.
No, he said
No,
that
no, no.
the 10-12 building HVAC equipment would be on the roof for the 14-16.
That's my understanding, right? Any of that whole HVAC is gonna be behind the
Right,
lower roof
right
deck.
now, we
Right
have
now,
some there.
So there would have to be some sort of easement or agreement long-term to permit that configuration.
Well, unless you would be placing it on the main rooftop and like screening.
I mean, I guess this is almost my initial question. Why is this 2 separate applications? This has been one building, kind of a connected one building, since it was a department store 100 years ago. I mean, I know it's different addresses, but,
It's different visually,
well,
straight.
I know, I'm an architect,
Yeah,
I'm
just
well,
saying,
thank you.
It's killing.
But it's
There's no access, currently there's no access going from one building to the next, so it's kind of.
Of course there is.
Only one.
Yes, there is.
Of course there
Well,
is.
good, we're proposing to close it.
No, I understand, but
Yeah.
In case I wanna sell, let's say what happened, I can't sell it in one building. It's business perspective, I wanna have it separate.
you wanna be able,
If I
okay.
have a lawsuit against one, I shouldn't be connected to the other one, you know, it's business wise, I wanna have it separately.
I get that.
And that's why
And he's actually, I think, a couple of years ago, started as a combined.
we started with the
And then
combined.
decided-
They decided, business wise, really it should be separately.
But you're looking at, we're presenting it.
No, I understand, I just,
That was the reason.
Yeah,
because originally this is like the 4th time this has been before us, and it was a ton of apartments, and then it
Yeah,
was
it
less
created a lot of
apartments, and then it
confusion.
was, you know, an elevator to nice apartments, and so now we're to this.
I think it works better with egress, as far as egress is concerned, if they're self-contained, because I know last time around, one of the council members, object to the fact that there's a lot of like confusion when it comes to egress, but now
Yep,
they're all
That was the
separate,
architect one.
contained in something, so I think as far as egress is concerned, it's straightforward, one exit required, and it's pretty straightforward. As far as if you check it, in chapter 10, in the IBC code, if it's less than 4 dwelling units per floor, you're only required to have one exit, so I think it's pretty straightforward.
But to answer Barbara's question, yes, if we're gonna have HVAC for one building on a different building, we're gonna need a written agreement that would be recorded and survive.
Okay. And then, I believe one of the other items I would review was just, how trash would be, stored in this one.
Right, so when the office, if there were office uses in the commercial, they would take them to the CVS, I think,
Correct.
behind the CVS. That's one option. The other option is the residential units could have their garbage and bring it out to the curb,
No.
which I know nobody wanted. That's why we're saying the CVS seems to be the logical way of doing it.
Will you be dependent on each resident to bring their own trash?
Correct.
So you'll have to sit down with Downtown Freehold to work out. Because currently, none of them are paying into the trash system, so they need to be.
Again, so how does it work?
And,
The tenant has to pay?
Well, it's usually the
Somebody
landlord.
pays.
Someone pays.
Okay.
Is that a privately owned trash enclosure, or is it owned by CVS?
No, it's managed by the Freehold Center Management Corporation. And the individual tenants pay Freehold Cartage directly, who is the hauler.
Right, so if those units are using those, that dumpster area, then they have to pay whatever the going rate is for that use.
But it's very hard to do it on individual tenant, like residential tenant basis.
Doesn't
So
work
that
as
would
a
have to be,
residential unit, if you take
So-
away your own garbage, the boiler doesn't have to give
So
back
is it-
the,
Realistic to think,
no, I don't think it is
I
realistic.
mean,
I think
let me-
there should be an I
let me
think,
finish. Is it realistic to think that a resident, see, this is one of my hangups with the parking too, was walking that distance to park. But I know that it says within 700 feet, but is it realistic to think that a resident is going to bring garbage down through that building from their apartments, go down to the corner at the crosswalk, cross the street, and go either up court and in behind CVS? They can't go through CVS carrying the garbage.
they gotta remember their
So-
key.
They gotta remember, right, is this all,
So you have an alternative?
is
first,
this,
I have an alternative, but the first question is, how about offices, how are they doing it? What's the difference between offices and residential?
well,
Same.
The
Freehold
same
Center-
same person
Freehold,
sits in the office and sits in the house, that's one.
but doesn't gather as much garbage, I would think, but that
Well,
is
if you have an office
determined.
sitting, 5 people, 6 people in the
Well, I'm
office.
not here to argue, I'm asking
I-
questions.
And I
Okay.
see bags out in front of those locations all the time. on a
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
problem with
Problem.
those businesses not following the rules now.
Okay.
So we need to
So
sit
I
down
have, I
and fix
have, I
that.
have a better solution. The better solution is that right now, Lecce Polino has the dumpster, he has own dumpster for the restaurant that's closed up. I'm gonna take it for the resident, and he's gonna start taking the garbage to the downtown.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I did not hear,
You're
he's gonna
gonna
do
take
what?
away the space that La Cipollina has been renting for 30 years for their garbage to give it
Lecce
to.
Polino is renting for the place for 30 years. He's on the way out, actually. There's an eviction process. He's getting, probably leaving the place in 2-3 months. You know, he has a court date this month already. So probably he's out. Even that, if he wants to stay, we're gonna get an agreement. The agreement's gonna be that this garbage place, right, he's gonna have to basically take it over. Whatever, that's privately something, but
We
that's
discussed
the
this the
case.
last time, I think, didn't we, about the, we did discuss
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that time, Gillette Cipollino was still, maybe he's gonna, whatever, but right now,
Well,
he has
I
no
would assume
position, he
you're
has
not-
no lease anymore right now at this moment.
Well, that's
I
not
would
true.
assume you're not gonna leave that open, though.
Again,
Somebody
this is a legal argument, right? We're not gonna discuss right now. Right now, he's in the right position,
don't
getting
misrepresent
evicted by the end
this
of the
board.
month, so I have no problem with the garbage. That's the case.
Don't misrepresent.
Don't
Don't misrepresent.
I not
He has a
represent-
lease.
I'm not sure. And I
You're
can't
the
say
landlord?
yes. I cannot say yes. I cannot say yes.
You cannot say yes whether
Then he has a lease, I don't know, again, if he has, in the lease says a lot of things, but if you don't follow the lease, then he doesn't have a lease, that's legally, I don't think, so I'm not arguing now.
Okay.
So that's a second option.
Right.
Are there any other options to consider for the garbage?
The street, we've said
This, the
no.
best option is that, we'll work it out, but
Is there any trash facilities associated with the 1416 West Main Street?
Same issue, exact same thing.
Is there a spot on the first floor that you can store the garbage before?
There's a mechanical closet in the
Yes.
corner, in the
on each
hallway.
floor has a small room where you can.
I don't know if you're gonna,
Oh,
I don't know if you're
No,
gonna
it's
store.
for recyclable, the garbage is, it could be
Isn't
burned.
that big, HVAC?
But then you need, somebody's gonna have to still take it somewhere.
Well, you're
Right.
gonna, I mean, honestly, I manage this properties, that's what you're gonna need someone.
Sure, we're gonna need
You're
someone.
gonna need someone there cleaning the stairs,
Right.
cleaning the hallways, making sure the front is clean, salting, shoveling. You're gonna need a part-time property manager there on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So if twice a week he's taking, 3 times a week he's taking the trash out from a common area on the first floor in the back, because there is that gated area in the back.
Are you okay with providing a common area in each building for them to store garbage?
I don't have in the 10th floor, but what do you mean a common area, on the first, on the second floor?
On one of the floors?
I can do it on the second floor, I have place, but over here. This is, here's first, no. You have a, again, where's the floor?
So if the common area is under, wait,
This is not this one. Where's the front?
Don't you have a fenced off area at the back of the buildings where that the area where you put in your electrical units?
What?
The 1-story area in the back where you have your HVAC units and other units. Don't you have, isn't there an enclosed fenced area back there?
That's an exit for the emergency exit.
That's just an emergency exit? Okay.
Yeah.
There's not enough room back there.
Okay.
It's a basement access go-go door and an emergency exit door to the first floor.
Okay.
on this property, on the second floor, because forget the first floor, the second floor and the upper floors are gonna be residential, right? Is there a space on the second floor where the apartments could store the garbage and then your manager could take it away?
On the second floor, if you look, we have a HVAC room. I don't need that room for HVAC.
So you could
I can use that, and utilize that room for garbage, in each floor. Each floor has an HVAC room, but I really don't need it, because HVAC can be in the ceiling. I don't need that for the hallways, I don't need that space.
So is the preference that they store it on site and then have the manager bring it?
That's what I would prefer.
To bring it to where? The question is to bring it to where, to opposed to.
It'll go to the
It would go to the
CVS?
CVS.
Well, would it be, would that be an option, placing it on the lower roof deck where the HVAC is, you mentioned that earlier.
On the lower roof deck?
Yeah. Did you mention that before?
No, I was trying to orientate everyone.
Okay.
I don't know whether you can put trash on a roof.
No.
No.
No, I'm saying,
All right,
I
so
don't-
the
You don't know
solution,
if you could put the trash.
Yeah,
I thought that's what you said. I'm
Where?
sorry.
On your roof.
Oh,
we're not doing
On
that.
that
no,
one.
I don't think
So
that's a good idea.
The suggestion, which may be the consensus is that we convert those rooms on the second and third floor that are labeled HVAC or something
It's
to
smaller
garbage
than the-
storage room, that they'll have to take it to CVS. I don't know where else you could put the garbage, we have to get it somewhere. The office space would do the same thing, they would take it to wherever they're gonna take it.
and on paper, it sounds okay, it looks okay, but in reality, which is what we have to deal with,
How big are those rooms?
How big are those rooms?
How big are those HVAC rooms?
The architect,
Each floor, two apartments.
How about, what's the,
This one, you have wall, and then I don't need a floor,
it's around the 3x5 or 6 on each story.
And where is this, show this to me?
That's in the hallway, the main hallway.
Got it.
There's gonna have to be a sprinkler also. It's garbage. Gonna have to be a sprinkler in other wells.
All right.
Right.
15, 18 square feet,
Have to be sprinkler.
plus mechanical equipment.
No mechanical in there.
How does that work, storing garbage inside? What are the rules? Ventilation, cooling, anything?
They'll probably have to be ventilated. I've seen them in Montana.
I've seen it too, and places I've seen it, they usually kind of keep the room a little cooler so stuff doesn't rot, right? Like, there's some,
No.
you know, you don't want it 80 degrees and,
It's gonna have to be maintained on a more regular basis than once a
Absolutely.
week. I mean, you said what, 18 square feet? I mean, it might be something where if you have,
15, 18.
if you have a maintenance crew, it's probably gonna be someone who's gonna have to empty it potentially daily, every other day, whatever. it
No
may be.
problem. I have other properties.
But I think-
I
I think-
a lot of properties.
But I think-
Sure.
As,
Yeah.
as
I'm not,
As Councilman Freeman said, I think that the idea that relying on the tenants to carry their
it's
trash
not gonna happen.
across the street, down the block, behind sorry, Councilwoman Stresser said it too, about bringing it out to the trash compactor and the entire process, that's a method for a breakdown process. So I think that if you have a trash room, located potentially on either each floor or in the
right, so we have.
10, 12, one room, and then
With
you
the
have
landlord responsible for.
landlord responsible for taking it from that room to wherever, at least that takes care of the idea of the trash sitting around and not being moved.
And handling the contract with Freehold Garbage.
Right, we have to do that separately.
So the contract would be with Freehold, between the owner of Freehold Cartage, not the residents of Freehold Cartage.
Correct.
Correct.
Between the owner and Freehold Garbage. That's what we do with other buildings that have apartments. Electric bike storage.
We'd like to
No
have,
electric
we'd like to have it as part of the, if there's
I mean,
approval that it,
People are gonna need no electric bikes.
yeah.
You can't have electronics in my buildings, it's not safe. I'm not letting any tenant come in with a battery in my buildings.
How do you stop that?
I have cameras, I see, if someone comes in, I stop them right away.
And it'll be a provision of lease agreements?
Sure. Like, other thing comes in my lease.
Okay.
I had once, a battery, a couple of years ago, I'm done.
Yeah.
Every lease.
We'd
With a
also-
fire, you mean?
I had a fire in the kitchen, yes.
That's what we worry about.
I had a few years
That's
ago.
why we ask about bike storage.
We'd also like to have a restriction on window HVAC units, window AC units. No window
Well,
AC.
yeah,
Right, you can have that kind of windows.
But just.
That's fine, in the lease,
Belts and suspenders.
yeah, in the lease.
that's fine.
I'm assuming there's no ADA compatibility issues
Not-
because,
Well,
okay.
because you have stairs going to.
Yeah, no, I know.
An elevator requirement doesn't kick in. I confirmed that.
And we still have to do, Trevor still had a couple comments.
I was gonna say, Barb, you have anything else, or?
No, we just for the main points of my review order.
Okay, Trevor?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple statements. So looked at the lot regulations for the downtown zone. Looks like they do need 2 variances, which are existing nonconformities. For this lot, the minimum lot area is 3,750 square feet, where 2,816 square feet is existing. And the minimum lot width is 50 feet, where 31.55 feet is existing. So those are existing nonconformities because it's an existing lot. Nothing they can do about that unless they were to combine the lots, which I think we just heard they're not interested in doing that tonight. As far as the proposed plan, Barbara went over the parking. As far as the sprinkler system, it looks like all the apartments are gonna be fully sprinklered.
Correct.
And I think with the garbage, we just have to make sure that that garbage room is also sprinklered, so we want to make sure that that's going to be taken care of. You mentioned previously that you only need 1 egress per apartment, and that could just be done on the existing staircase, there's no need to have a secondary exit.
We're completely governed by the rehab code, and the rehab code doesn't require more than 1 existing, especially now we can think of the stairs. So, regardless, even in the new code, I'm saying not required.
And just going back to the lease, I know we spoke about the parking lease with 58 Main, but there was a discrepancy. I just want to make it clear that it's 4 spaces and not 9 spaces.
Well, it'll be 6 total between the 2 properties.
6 total between the 2.
Correct. because that's all we have.
Right.
No new signage. And then Trevor points out the shade tree.
One tree is there.
Yeah.
One tree is there.
Yeah, so, there's one tree on this one or on, between
14.
both?
Between both.
On 14. So it's up to the Shade Tree Commission or this body whether you want additional shade trees.
I don't know, necessarily know that we can speak to the Shade Tree Commission.
I mean, there was a tree there. I mean, if you look at the picture they
There's
provided.
one.
He says there's one.
No, but there's a tree well that was filled in. Is that what you're talking about, wanting to put a tree?
I don't want to put anything.
It's pointed out.
I know you don't, won't you?
I believe the requirement is street trees every 30 feet on center. There are, I think, 2 out there, and there possibly was a third that was removed, so Shade Tree Commission would have jurisdiction over that if they need to supply more trees.
They should review.
Okay.
It should be sent to
Did
them
they
for
do
reg-
that, they do that as part of the planning board review process, I assume?
I don't know.
However
Not
it is.
Shade Tree, no.
No? All right, so
Yeah,
we'll
they
make,
have their own meeting.
okay, I'll make sure that, I'll tell Dominica to make sure we get.
Normally
before-
they don't, normally it's a separate plan to replace, unless you specifically remove a tree. Like if you remove a tree, then you have to provide 2 trees in return. But since this tree is already gone, it would be part of the shade tree plan, not, something that you would have to come to.
Okay.
I am actually gonna ask you to remove one tree. On the 3rd story, there is a tree growing out of the gutter.
You don't have to replace that one.
You do not have to replace it.
Does Shade Tree need to weigh in on that?
I think they'll be okay with it.
I'm not sure of that.
Fine, he'll remove that, he'll personally remove that one.
Just with the new utilities, because you're gonna have a new sprinkler system, is there a new water service required for that, or do you have adequate
Probably
water?
not, you're gonna have to get a new.
So you're gonna have a new
We
utility?
have a 2-inch pipe, right now we have a 1, we have to get a 2.
And washer hookup, right? Washer hookups?
What's that, sorry?
Washer hookups, yes.
The washer and dryer will be provided in the unit, correct?
Yes. So with the new water service, obviously you're gonna need a new permit from the town on that, and any roadway permits that are required from the state and the town for the connection to the water main. We spoke about the HVAC units already, the streets we talked about. Garbage we spoke about. Also, on the one property, there's a wall and a patio. Is that maintained by, it's gonna be maintained by the owner? There's a space on the ground floor between the front and the back. Looks like an open space with a patio.
That's who's close to the restaurant.
That's with the restaurant.
That's Marina, yes.
Going without the lease.
I think that wall separates the patio space for lots of Lena and the emergency exit opening for the building itself.
Got it. And then, obviously it's gonna have to go to the Historic Preservation Advisory Commission for review to review the architectural plans. That's a separate application.
That's correct. I'll coordinate that through Dominica too.
Right, you'll have to determine whether it's, I mean, they have a list of whether it's key or contributing.
Yep.
And based on the picture, you know, the top of it, the cornice work, you know, the decorative cornice work at the top there definitely needs some painting.
And then on 1416, they're pretty much the same issues. There are no bulk variances for 1416 because that fully conforms to the existing conditions, fully conform. And then the parking excess, I'm not sure how we'll call it excess because it's better for us. But I'm trying to find that number. Barbara, what's the number on the other one? No. Parking. Here we go. 10 space. Parking not required.
And they had originally, per code, they would have had 14 spaces, a 14 space credit for the previous office use. The current use for residential units would require 10 spaces.
there's a fourth
four space,
surplus.
over surplus, that
Which-
will vanish once those units are
This brings out total usage
correct.
number.
But all the other conditions that we've discussed for the first one will apply to this, garbage, et cetera, would all apply.
Ventings,
Venting, everything,
stacks,
yes.
uh,
HVAC, sprinklers, everything.
now the slate roof's gonna remain?
Yes.
I requested already once, and they told me it should stay the same.
It should stay the same.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And again, shade tree, we have to deal with the same issue there, HPC, the same issue.
Yep.
Couple questions about some of the information plans. When the project came before us, in a previous iteration, I had asked if a study had been done to determine if the windows being placed in bedrooms were qualified egress windows.
They can comply with the US.
So they don't yet, but they will.
They will.
So-
As far as I know, they are currently compliant.
Okay, so a study will have to determine whether or not they comply, especially in the bedrooms. Do the windows on the fourth floor, the third and fourth floor of the units, do they require fire escapes
As far as egress.
because of their height? Because, so you have two means, you technically have three means of egress. You have the bedroom windows,
Correct.
you have the two stairwells.
Two stairwells, yeah.
On the bedroom windows, if someone can't get out the bedroom door and has to go out the window, that's a far, you're not gonna make it.
Okay, need the fire department.
So, I'm not familiar enough with the code to determine, but will there need, it'll have to be determined whether or not, fire escapes will need to be put up in order to allow for egress out of the bedrooms at the upper floors.
Okay, I have to look at that.
Okay. The other question I had was regarding, egress distances.
Okay.
Are egress distances per floor, or are they cumulative from the point within the apartment unit all the way to the exterior?
So again, if we rate the exit, then obviously it's only calculated on the rated exit.
So once you get to the rated stairwell,
Correct.
that cuts you off your number.
I would have to calculate the maximum.
Well, no, but
Based on the sprinkler system.
Right, the sprinkler system, it says
I
on
don't
the
think
thing,
they exceed
it's,
that, meaning in terms of like maximum distance, are you talking about maximum distance in terms of egress? I
right,
think-
so for instance, just on the 1012 project,
Okay,
for a unit on the third floor,
okay.
half six, I guess, is let's round up to 110 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so that's to the stairs going down to the third floor. And then there's a distance that has to go to the egress
Correct.
corridor and then out to the street. Does the calculation stop once?
Again, I think that depends if we rate the enclosure, or if we enclose that whole stair enclosure, and
Well, it
that's
should be
self-contained.
Should be fire.
Again, depending if the requirement for the exit enclosure for.
Well, you'll need to figure all that out first.
Yeah.
Meaning if it doesn't exceed fourth, I think 2-3 levels, again, I didn't do that calculation,
Just-
but again, obviously that's gonna be taken into account.
Okay.
Again, it's hard to, because I'm dealing here with rehab code versus new code, the rehab
Yeah.
code sends you back to the new
Yep.
code, sometimes it leaves you, it's very complicated, it's more
So you have to work
complicated.
that out with
Yeah, obviously
building
I worked it,
Okay.
yeah, obviously, again, I started analyzing it, so I kind of.
Yeah, especially when you're rehabbing and
Yeah.
rebuilding, there's a lot of.
But there's a lot of
different
leniencies when it
Yeah.
comes to the rehab code.
Obviously, some of the windows are going to have to be safety glazed because of the locations.
Correct, in terms of relation to the floor.
Right. I know there was a comment in the application that there's no exterior work being done. Is there any roof repair that has to be done? It wasn't that slate roof called up to question?
Yeah, we sand in, ice and.
I mean, I know there's leaks in places, I've been.
Now,
told that.
there was an issue that HPC was concerned about. Apparently, the rear roof was replaced without review, and the slate roof was removed.
Not in my time, not in the last 20 years.
Hmm.
I'm in town already for 2 decades, and it was like that.
Okay, my understanding it was recent, but that can be confirmed.
Well, we'll have to,
We have to deal with the HPC on
we'll
that.
have to look
Right,
at that.
when I fix it, I'm not replacing it right now.
Yeah, but they're gonna have comments, so you're
Okay.
gonna have to deal with it.
Okay.
You
The-
do, you do.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Oh, yes.
The only, so now that we talked about removing the dens completely to take them out of the picture, take them out of the question, the only space that I have a concern with is the lounge on the fourth floor of building 1012, unit D level 2. It has no exterior windows whatsoever. Page P2 of 1012. Fourth floor, unit D.
The lounge in the center?
Right in the center.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you
Yeah,
can,
this one.
if you have you can get through the light and ventilation requirements if you have a certain amount of foot candles on your bulbs, and if you have a whole unit ventilation and whatnot. But it's an apartment, and it's a cave inside an apartment. Is there any way, I don't know what the roof map looks like, is there any way to put skylights in? Is there any way to get some natural light into that space? I mean, obviously you can't do it on the left wall because it abuts, I guess, the other building or something, and it's cornered
No,
on
the
the other
left,
side.
the left wall would be looking out over the liquor store.
Oh, you're right, it would. If there was a way to get some sort of natural light in there.
So right now, there's sorry, to interrupt, but
Yeah.
there's that whole big arcade, right? It's a
Right.
big open space
Mhm.
that goes up to and that's kind of where that's kind of why
Then
you
the
have to do
steps
these
are gonna
stairs
go
the
there.
way you're doing it in the
Right.
middle, right?
Right,
You could do a skylight above there,
right.
coming down,
Mm-hmm.
or you could do, no, that's not gonna work. Wait, that's connected to the other, never mind, that's not gonna work.
So really just a skylight.
A skylight,
I
yeah.
could do a skylight.
I think just for the purposes of having a space that has some natural light, I think having even just a skylight above the
Small,
stairwell,
a 4x4, even any size.
something to bring some natural light into that space, make it a little bit more appealing. Studies have shown that rooms without natural light are not conducive to good well-being.
Okay.
So we talked about the trash, we talked about qualified egress windows and potentially needing for skate ladders. No e-bikes, no window AC units. There was another item in one of the reports, give me 1 second, I apologize for not having it on hand. I think when you go to HVAC, anything that's on the exterior of the building, the HVAC units, any changes to windows, anything like that, you're gonna wanna show them what that is specifically, because it's gonna be a condition of their approval based upon those items. So if you're putting HVAC units on the roof, they're gonna see a potential HVAC roof plan. Because you're using that roof as an egress, fire egress as well, you obviously can't just dock them all over the place, and they're gonna need to have their own clearances and whatnot, so I would, you gotta show on the roof plan where the new units are going, and that there's a clear path from that fire stair out to the the skate ladder that's down to the main floor. I appreciate the fact that you reduced the density of the design. I think the bigger units are better. Parking is still very convoluted. I think that's gonna be your sticking point. I understand that you're doing what you can with what you have. I think that Councilwoman Schutzer's comment about the fact that you're under the assumption that people at these apartments are going to be working during the day and not using the spots. And I think that, potentially speaking, in the downtown area where we're looking at people who either work from home or travel into the city or whatnot, may not be moving their cars on a daily basis. It would have been nice to have a parking study done of 58 West Main Street, to know how many spots are there, to know what the use of the commercial space that's, the business that's there now, to determine whether or not these 6 spaces, 6 spaces could have been designated completely for use by these apartments rather than being rotated day and night. If there's more than enough spaces for the commercial space at 58 West Main Street, that you can earmark these 6 spaces as parking for tenants. And that means that it doesn't matter whether they work day or night, there's going to be guaranteed parking spaces there, and you'll have potentially parking for
The issue with that is it creates a variance condition if we take away the office space, because we need them to meet the ordinance.
Well, no, I'm not saying take away the office space. I'm saying that at 58 West Main Street, there's a parking lot with X amount of spaces.
Yeah, 10
Oh, it's only 10 spaces.
spaces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's why they only have 6
that's why
available.
we have 6 available.
Look, that's just gonna be what it's gonna
Yeah.
be. I mean,
Yeah.
he could offer nothing, because he doesn't have to offer
Right.
anything.
Yeah. There's gonna have to be some controls in place on that parking lot, because you're gonna find a way out. Yeah.
That's trying to do.
And there
That's-
are certain
that's
tenants
handled.
won't wanna rent because they have nowhere to park.
Right.
There's a more limited market for them to rent.
And just as a side note, on the 4-unit building, it may still be subject to an affordable housing fee. Just to keep in mind.
For other fees instead of,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I have the ordinance, I didn't read it yet, but I have the ordinance.
I've asked you about this on other projects. There's a lot of windows, right? Visible from the street. We really don't want them with
Different window shades.
windows, nice window treatments, matching window treatments throughout the
Right.
building, so we don't have towels and all sorts of other stuff adorning. Your VCOM reports. This is for the 3rd floor, right?
4th floor.
Floor
The
3.
3rd floor, 1, 2, 3, the 3rd floor from the residential,
Right,
basically.
but
from
now
the-
you've got but what about a testing for the 4th floor?
This is for the 4th floor.
Floor 3 testing points.
It's the 3 from above the residential. We had 3 residential when we gave them the plans.
This was done in 2023.
Yeah,
You
we were
just
here
gave-
already for this once. They came out over here, we testified.
They
On
did
everything.
spot checks on all the floors.
Yeah,
All right, but I'm saying this report only
I think it's just
covers floor 3.
things described, because of the fact that when they came before us, it was 3 floors of residential units. I think the report refers to it as residential floor 1, 2, and 3,
1, 2, and 3.
not the 3rd floor of the building. If I remember correctly.
Can that be confirmed?
It is.
And then and so
One more thing on that, the recent change with T-Mobile up there, any impact on this report? T-Mobile's doing some work on that roof?
They just removed the stuff. They, old equipment, they removed it.
Didn't put new equipment to replace it?
No, no. They left, they removed already one, they left a lot of equipment, so now I have more space on the roof, because they left me all the stuff they left me over there, so I made them take away everything. They didn't install anything new.
Some measurements were taken on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors.
okay. All right. You done with that?
Yeah.
All right. So now just to all these various approvals from 2001 to 2008 for these various towers on the top. There's all these requirements that it should be, like the first ones consisting of the decorations as noted in the exhibits, which we don't have. But then we've got here, shall be camouflaged to screen all equipment. On this one, it shall be painted to match color of said facade, faux chimney enclosures, that the all stuff shall be screened and hidden, this, that, the other thing, and there's a lot of stuff that's no longer hidden. Can you speak to whoever's have them follow their various approvals? Right? Shouldn't that be conditional? That the,
You know what he's talking about, obviously. There were conditions on the cellular that apparently are not being.
did you guys submit this to us? I mean, it's in our pack. I'm assuming this came from you guys.
No, I think Dominica put it together.
She's great, isn't she?
Yeah, she gives more than we want her to give.
No, she gives exactly what she should do.
She gives less than we want her to give.
Yeah, right?
I know that there was a prior approval and,
3. separate
Right.
prior approvals with lots of different
So if there's
conditions.
conditions in prior approval that are not being dealt with, he's
Let's-
gonna have to.
let's get those dealt with.
comply with.
I have to look into it, I don't know what it is.
I mean, that's a condition of I mean, and that's, getting those dealt with is, as part of condition of approval.
After you,
I think I'm done.
there's one other space that I had a question
Let me
about,
go
because
through.
it was in the aluminum plans. On the fourth floor of building 1012, there's a room next to bedroom number 1. Between bedroom number 1 and the walk-in closet, in the back of the fourth floor. Next to bedroom number 1, what is
Storage.
storage? Okay.
Good? Barb, Trevor, anything else from you guys?
Nope.
Anything else from council? Comments?
Between the garbage, the parking, we're gonna borrow these spots, we're gonna, I heard once upon a time, Patriots Rock Hall. I don't know what you wanna all apply here, but I'm not too thrilled with this building on the whole. So God bless you, that's all I have to say. And Jeff, maybe that can be in the lease too, that nice curtains in the front that the landlord has to provide.
Well, yeah, that's what I think it makes a difference. I mean, I think this has come a long way. I think before I would be comfortable saying yes, I would need a lot of this stuff addressed, just so I would need to know that I'm much closer than I've ever been to a yes with this, but I'm not quite there yet. I just need to know that all this stuff gets taken care of. Because as soon as we say yes,
Well, he can't, we need a yes from you to go to the next step, which is go to the historic, go to the planning board. He can't get a CO until he meets conditions imposed by
Some
everyone.
of these questions came up in previous iterations of this application, specifically the trash.
yeah, we're still.
And egress.
Trash, egress.
We talked about that.
Things like that.
And egress actually changed.
Oh, absolutely it did, but
Our concerns have not changed. Throughout the 6 iterations, concerns have remained the same, and we're not quite there, in my opinion.
And I think we're fully compliant as far as egress goes.
We talked at length that last time you were here.
No, I wasn't
about
actually
egress
here.
from that top floor, bedroom window.
Again, if it's
What
all
happened?
within the confines of the code, then we're good to, you know what I'm saying? I don't think
Council, what I'm hearing perhaps is if we could continue the application and updated plans could be submitted that would at least address some of the major things, such as removal of these den areas, if there need to be fire escapes, the garbage enclosures.
The trash rooms.
I mean, if at least a draft agreement between the owner and the downtown, the trash hauler, we have these things in place that we can see that they're being moved forward in that direction.
Yeah, we've asked that for other places before, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know somewhat, and I apologize, but I agree with Councilman Freeman. This is probably the closest that we've gotten to on this project, and I think that there's a couple things that are hanging on from previous iterations that would have been great if they were addressed prior to tonight. And I think that because of the fact that we've now gone through this 4, 5, 6 times on this project without those items being put down on paper answered, I think that the concern is that we don't want to move this project forward without those items being open-ended, because we've had enough time to close them.
Well, I wasn't around for the past, so I don't know.
That's good.
But he was. So when's the next meeting? 17th,
17th.
Tuesday, it's a Tuesday, because of the holiday on Monday.
We'll never get this in time for the 17th. Well, okay.
Depends, he has to sign the lease. Who signs the Freehold Cottage, who's the garbage?
Well, you will sign it with Freehold Cottage.
You have to contact Freehold
Yeah,
Cottage?
you will contact me, I will give you a letter that you will take to Freehold Cottage authorizing you to contract with them for the garbage.
And then you have to revise floor plans, so.
As far as.
Well, it's
Just
not a
the
public
den.
hearing, right? So why don't we'll shoot, when's the meeting? I'm sorry.
17th,
2/17, and then the other one would be whatever the March meeting is.
2nd, I believe.
So if we get everything in time, we'll come back on the 17th. If not, we'll come back in March. So, because
Yeah, March 2nd.
monkey's on your back, you gotta take a lot of architecture.
There's no,
March 2nd, so.
3-2, okay.
And that's the thing, I think that just, we wanna see that these items are not open-ended.
Understood.
Because, you know, once it leaves us, like Councilman Freeman said, once it leaves us and goes on to the next step, that's, you know, that's the, we don't have another crack at it.
You don't want us to send you, whatever the historic preservation's gonna look at, all their stuff. You want us to deal with the changes we talked about tonight to address the.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, if you speak to Dominica, you're on the agenda for the historic preservation, at least we know that you are making an application before them, and we see that that's going to happen, you know. Maybe, you know, that you haven't met with Shade Tree, but you're at least, you know, on the agenda.
You could schedule HBC or whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, you could start that.
I mean, some of the items obviously can't be taken care of in the next 2 weeks because of meeting schedule and whatnot. But the good faith effort of going forward and saying, okay, well, we've made an application to HBC, we're gonna be seeing them at the end of the month. It doesn't fall before the next council meeting date, but we are on that schedule and we are going to present for them and, you know. So
And even if we were to give approval, any approval we give would be subject to historic preservation
Either way.
as well, right?
Either
Because if
way.
they say no, even if we said okay, it would be no.
Understood.
Well, you know how I feel. You know that, he used a good word, convoluted, that the whole parking, but the garbage bothers me also. And another thing that bothers me is that, I would definitely like to see as part of the lease, the business method e-bikes, because I understand what you're saying. I don't know what kind of a landlord you are. You may be, you know, you may scare them and tell them once and that's it. But, it only takes one fire. And I would like to see some kind of a thing in the lease that, about the e-bikes.
We'll submit a written response to all the
Yep.
comments that were raised
And-
tonight, along with revised floor plans to address those comments.
Thank
I'm
you.
not sure you should waste your time on a written response to me about the parking, because I think,
Do it anyway.
this all looks wonderful on paper. I think it all looks great on paper. I'm a realist though, and it's just,
Understood. We're
consistent.
never gonna win the argument with you, but, I mean, what's the alternative?
that might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
But the alternative would be to rent these as office space and make it far worse, right? I mean, assuming there was even a
Well,
market
I don't
for it.
deal, okay.
So,
No,
I'm
I
just
mean,
being
that's,
honest with you.
at some point, there's gotta be a viability for the building, there's gotta be viability for the landlord to be able to, but it's gotta be within our terms.
It's gotta work.
It's gotta
It's
work.
gotta work.
We're actually,
And we're close, but we're not there yet.
as far as fire safety is concerned, we're adding a sprinkler system, which is
Mhm.
definitely a plus. I'm saying,
Which is,
it doesn't have now.
Yeah,
So
as everybody
as
said,
far
we're
as
close.
fire is concerned,
okay, we're close.
Appreciate your efforts.
All right, thank you. We'll be back with one of these two meetings.
Excellent.
But
Thank
we'll
you.
make a formal submission to address these comments. All right, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
what is that squeak?
It's a table. It's that table. No, it's most definitely that table. No, it's whenever they're writing.
Yeah, it is the table, she's moving it now.
They need some WD-40 something. Because when they shake it,
Yeah, we'll give you
when they shake it, it moves.
So this is all online if you want to review this too.
Well, it's just
I
about to
thought it was a
drive me
wind blowing
nuts.
in the vent. Okay,
Try not to.
all right, thank you. Thank you. Let's move on to item 12, public comments. If anyone from the public care to address the governing body, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
And congratulations for hanging in there.
And thank you
It was
guys.
very entertaining, that's for sure. Dan Hoffman, 55 Conover Street. I just want to talk to you about what the lack of, seemed to me, the plan of post-snow removal of various streets in the town. Obviously Conover Street, which is right down the thing here. I had emailed the town on Thursday when I got back from my trip, because my kids took care of all the sidewalks and everything in the house. I was away. I came back on Wednesday night, and I noticed that as you can tell here, my lovely neighbor across the street who I had problems with, parks his vehicle. He has 4 vehicles actually, and there's 2 there. But anyway, these haven't been moved since the 16th of January, which basically caused this to happen, which is about 3 or 4 feet into the street. And that was my email concern, was not even just because of my family, but everybody else that goes up and down that street, as well as you have visitors that always cut through our street to get into town and go out to 33 on Conover, which is right here. Even on Thursday morning, I was talking to the garbage men, they're like, I can't even believe this, and there's people like trying to get around the truck and trying to get around there, so basically people were crisscrossing, one was stopping, and the other one was trying to wait for the other one to go, because this guy's vehicle, and there's a couple other vehicles, down the street from me as well, same thing, they're just not even moving, and there, I saw when I was going up to work one day too, the same thing on the upper part of the hill, going kind of over towards you guys here. So basically I'd reached out, you were off on Friday, so I was trying to reach out like where that email landed, and then somebody on Facebook, I went on Facebook and they said, try the portal. Went on that, and then I put in for that, I called the town to see where the email landed, and they're like, well, just talk to, and then Jalissa hit me up, and she said that you and Lithgow were going around town and trying to figure out what to deal with, the streets that had all these issues and things like that. My concern even on Friday, I was calling up to like 3:30 trying to figure out what this post-plan for snow removal was gonna be. Because you guys had posted all before the storm, make sure you guys show up your driveways, your walkways, and get the streets done, and all clear this out, and the fire hydrants. But then there's nothing on post, like what you guys are doing to fix the problems that we were having in town. Not even up to Friday. So I was like, all right, so now they're gonna wait till Monday because nobody works on Saturday and Sunday, which probably would be a good time to let people know to move their car because people are home more often. In the old days, even like when I was in Manalapan, cops come down, I need you guys to move your cars, the plows are coming down, and it would clear out certain areas. Great idea. And a lot of, I don't know what you guys, I talked to I think it's one of the people from your office today, said, we are not ticketing people. We are not towing people. And I'm like, I don't understand why. And you guys do have an ordinance in here that's saying, it's, I'll even say it here. You could probably look up, you guys might know. 1020.040G, impede normal flow of traffic at the vehicle. And also there's a state one also that also has that as well.
Who told you that people aren't being ticketed?
That was somebody, I believe, from your office. Said somewhere from the business administration office.
How did you reach them?
They were connected to me today. So I was trying to find out, well, here's what happened.
A man, a woman?
It was a woman. I don't remember her name. An S maybe? I don't have to check. Anyway, so the guys are coming down Conover today, cleaning up. Same 2 vehicles were there, and there was a van down there, which I don't think you saw anyway. And I'm like, these guys, and there's no police presence, there's nobody telling people to move their cars or just to shift things. And I knew these vehicles were not being moved because the person either went away and the son is there and he doesn't do anything. But he was out working, I guess. So I'm like, there's gotta be somebody to call, cause I've seen this happen before when you guys have Memorial Day parades and the cars are in the street and they're like, yeah, can you, somebody whose vehicle is this, and that person comes right out and they move their car. I've seen it happen. So I was like, I don't know why you guys just don't look up the plate, call somebody, tell them to move their vehicle. You know, especially when, and I feel bad for these guys, cause, you know, they're trying to do their job and they can't get it done. You know, they're trying to get the snow out of here and they're trying to clear out the street, and yet, the kid came home tonight, he shoveled the front of the SUV, but the van is still there with the snow still out from the van. You know, and it's just causing issues. It's causing a safety hazard, a traffic problem, you know, and it's not the only street, as you know. And I know you guys are dealing with other stuff. I'm not the only one, but I drove around town too, like, I see other streets, same thing, you know? It's a safety concern, and it's like 6 days out already from the storm, and it's like, still there.
When it comes to our guys, you know,
I like those guys, they're great.
They have been working nonstop.
I know they
There's
have,
been multiple
and I know most of them.
water pipe, you know, there's been lots of water main breaks.
I heard that.
These guys are working their tail off.
And I'm not
And
telling
they've been
them, I'm
moving
not
snow every
blaming
day.
fault
So
for
I
them
just want you to know
whatsoever,
that
and
it's not that a lack of effort or work on their part.
or either the police department too, because I called him down today to see if I can get those 2 cars moved, so those guys can get the rest of the trouble spot, at least that part of it, cleared out. And that guy came down, he was like, the officer there was like, I know, these guys could just move their car a little bit up front and back, I can't really do much. I'm like, this car's been here for 16 days, both of them. 16 days.
Do they, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You know, I came over there and looked and,
Mm-hmm.
beside, I don't know which home those cars belong to, but one of those houses, and it looked like maybe there's a field or something, a little area in the side where there are a bunch of cars parked?
It's a parking lot, it's the one
Is
that's
that-
across the street from my house, it's a apartment building.
Yeah, okay. Now, does that belong to those people who
No.
have that? Oh.
No, this person here actually has 2 people drive and they have 4 vehicles.
They have 2 people drive in the house and they have 4 vehicles.
4 vehicles,
Which-
and I don't wanna say it over the thing, but I can talk to you after what I think she does.
And do they have a driveway?
They have a driveway, but it only fits 1 vehicle, and they fit the 1 car in there. So they have a Mercedes, they have the van, the SUV, and they have a big Ram truck.
And that is an issue. And, you know, we offered the parking lot to, for people to park their.
That is true,
their
and I did
extra-
read that as well.
their extra
That's
cars.
correct. And we were
And,
hoping that would happen.
We were
Yeah.
so worried.
Also,
Yeah,
I
we
also
were-
brought up to Lithgow back in November to maybe do some painted parking spots, but he said, by the time he left my curb, it was already a no. And I said, and he told me why, he said, look, because you guys do 22 feet, and I said, well, some towns do 19. So I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just change it per street? You can fit more cars, obviously, because you can, in that spot where you just saw the picture, we usually fit 3 cars, but they're hoarding that area.
And there's
And it's-
also parking only on one side of the street.
That is
on
correct.
on
Yes.
Conover. I checked that out too, so that both sides of the street have to use the one side parking.
Correct. And,
So that's an
that's why I
issue
had
also.
brought it up to the town, you know, saying, look, maybe we can help the whole street here and people can just organize, you know, try to be a little more organized but nobody cares, you know.
Well, we had a
It's like-
mayor once who used to say, you absolutely cannot legislate common sense or common courtesy.
That's exactly what's
And
going on
that,
too.
and we all know that that is absolutely true.
And I feel bad for, you know,
I feel
neighbors
bad
or-
for
or-
people who don't have driveways.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with your car? I get that, and we've tried to understand that, we've tried to be, you know, but I go out and drive around this town
And
every
I know you
single
do.
day.
And Conover's a mess.
And Conover is one of the streets that is an issue. And I drove down another street, that I won't name, but, I could barely get through.
Right.
So, I
And
get it.
like I said, Bill, I feel bad for the plows, you know, it's
Yeah,
like,
and for the
if
guy.
there was an organization or some way of dealing with, you know, I don't really have a full answer,
Mm.
but, you know, even if we were to like, hey, you know, we're posting, you guys gotta move your vehicles, we're hitting this side of town, I know those guys sometimes run faster or slower, I know you got 31.45 miles in this town, something like that.
So you know, one issue is, as you
31 and a
know,
half miles of road.
this is usually the snow
But
by
he-
this point is melted. We usually, these piles are not, this is not
But
something.
here's my thing too, is that, I mean, a lot of you guys work for the town for years, beyond years, even before I even moved here. And when I got here, it's almost the same issues. Not this particular person, but it's the same issues. You got cars that are still on the street, people still have to go around, it's dangerous for other people, and it's not fixed. It's just not fixed.
I mean, I guess,
Because, you know,
like Sharon said, I don't think we can.
Even if you did ticket some people once in a while, I'm not saying everybody on Conover, it's not everybody's problem too, that's causing these issues. But you can see it just driving down Conover. That one van, it's this two cars, because the ones that are covered and nobody's moving them. So hit them. You know, fine them, get them towed, do something.
Okay.
But I'm sitting, no, I don't mean, but you know what I mean, hit them with a fine or something like that. Just to show, hey, look, you guys keep telling everybody to do their driveways, you know, and to do the sidewalks, but it's not happening on the other side.
71 tickets are issued for sidewalks.
For sidewalks, yes. But no cars.
Well, that's, tickets were issued for cars as well, maybe not there, but tickets were definitely issued
Mr.
for
Chairman,
cars.
Yeah, I mean,
members of the
just
council.
real quick before you start, I mean, this is crazy time. I mean, we had a lot of snow and super cold temps. And we're working it, like Jeff said, the guys are working like crazy, dealing with water main breaks. Steve, maybe you can give an update on where we're at.
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize that we have limited resources, and the snow was extraordinary in that it exceeded expectations, and we tried to be prepared for it, we tried to communicate, and now our resources were stretched to the limit over the weekend with 3 water main breaks that we were working on, so we can only do so much. Conover Street, we did snow removal there today.
Correct.
And the street looks pretty good. There are these 2 vehicles there that I'll talk to the chief about, and we'll see what we can do. But we also want to be considerate of, some folks are senior citizens, they can't get out and shovel their car out. They, so we're trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to be punitive. This hit everybody hard. And some people don't have the money to hire someone. Some people have someone that they expected to come and shovel that didn't show up. So we want to be considerate, and we'll take these on a case-by-case basis. We are using our limited resources to clean off streets as quickly as we can, and we're going to continue to do that until either the snow melts or we get it trucked out. You can go down the Little League field if you want to see how much we moved down there.
Down there today.
Yeah, I'm sure, Sharon.
That was funny, because I talked to my wife about that. I said, you know what they should do? Just like they did with all the sticks, move them all down there and get all the snow and move, and that's exactly what you guys did.
You know, some of what's been focused on is like crosswalks near the schools. You know, there are some
No, I
real
know
priorities,
there are certain point
and they've been
things,
working
yes.
their way through, so.
I get it, but even as of Thursday, I even sent pictures out, like, this is what's going on. So you guys knew already.
Well, I know I drive down
And,
Conover every single day.
and it wasn't
so.
even about, the vehicles just stuck in the street, it was the stuff that was,
Then
when they
pushed
plowed,
out
it
from
was
the-
pushed out, which causes cars to go up and around and stuff. That was my major concern,
Well, we hear
And-
you.
And I
And
think
we
about
share.
that, and I
We'll
think
look at
about
these
that
two
with
tomorrow.
everybody on my street as well, whether
I
I like
can
them or
tell
I
you,
don't, but I still think everything is a safety issue.
At this point, nobody wants us to plow, because the result is people's driveways get closed in. Okay, so we have to focus on removal with our tink claw. Because if we went down and plowed these streets to the curb, everybody would have a mound in their driveway, and as Sharon knows, they don't like that.
We had an issue.
I don't need 4 more mounds in
But we
I've
hear
had it for
you,
years.
we hear you. I came over there, and I'm sure
Mhm.
others did too, and looked and saw what you were talking about. It's an issue, doesn't make it right, but it's an issue all over town, and we have tried to address it, and we will be talking about it and addressing that
Yeah,
particular. Yeah.
Steve will talk to the chief and we'll look at that tomorrow.
And over the last 20 years, what I estimated here too is, according to Rutgers, I believe it was, we had over almost 70 storms over 2 inches of snow hit our town. So if you guys couldn't figure it out by then, you know, I don't know what else to
Well,
say.
this,
You know, there's a lot.
A
There's a
2-inch
lot.
storm and a 16-inch storm is different.
Well, I said
And a
2 inches
2-inch
and up, so
And
that's
a
what I
2-inch
gave.
storm or a 6-inch storm that melts in 3 days is different than a 1.5 foot that lasts for a month.
Correct.
We don't normally get snow that lasts for a month.
No, I
In
know.
that sense,
But
this
it's,
is,
just- it's abnormally cold, and I know
Yes,
last year we
well-
barely had anything, you know, so, I get it. But just, you know, it's a planning thing too. You know.
it's not really, it's actually not a planning thing, it's a manpower thing. If we had more men and more vehicles, it's very easy to put together a plan to get snow, it's very easy.
You know,
It's
and it's like,
manpower and
and
money.
again, I'll bring this up again.
And
you
we,
know,
we can hire more men, and we can hire more, get more equipment, but then our taxes go up.
We can
It's
go
a
round and
balancing
round. We'll look at this tomorrow.
But even in Manalapan, when I grew up too, they hired guys outside the town to come in and do it. Yes, I understand there's insurance issues and things like that, but those guys came in and they took care of neighborhoods, not even the town. The town took care of they took care of the major roads and made sure they were salted. Obviously now is huge compared to here, but, they had contractors come in and deal with individual, you know, neighborhoods. So that was another thing. So anyway,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you
You
coming
guys have a
out.
good night.
We'll have to get back to the same thing. There are probably a few, very few towns that did the right way in the state for this storm. We'll try to find out maybe how they
But,
did.
you know,
Check our resources,
It,
and thank you for coming out.
and my struggle is I was just trying to find out what the plan was. You know, even by Friday, you know, what was the post thing? How you guys were gonna deal with all this?
There was a plan, as Jeff said, our resources got cut and taken from us because of other issues that came up.
But maybe tell the people in those troubled areas that we're coming.
Right. We gotta
You know.
rethink.
The communication has been
I think we
constant.
did
But
say.
not post, pre, but
Yes,
not post.
a
Yeah, it
post went
has.
out, a
It
post
I have
went out
not
I've
saying,
seen posts every day regarding the snow on the borough page and on the website. The
On these
communication
troubled
has been
areas?
there.
Not on these troubled areas.
Not specific areas,
but
because they're
just in
working their
general,
way
that
through.
The guys were still out there, they're doing the best that they can do.
And like I
I'm
said,
not saying
I'm
that
not
there's
blaming them
not
either.
an issue, but I had to have them come back down my street because I have a tiny street and we have one side parking. I mean, we just have to be patient when we have this much snow. I understand that there's an issue, but as far as the plan, we had 3 water main breaks, and our guys were pulled away to work on those water main breaks. So to say that there was no communication after, I don't think is accurate.
Cause I went on your
You know?
Facebook page and see anything except for Saturday when you guys posted about
I saw posts
about a,
constantly that, you know, our guys are still out there working, do your best to help us be able to get to the road.
get your cars off the street.
Right, exactly. You know, so the communication has been there, but like Sharon said, we feel your pain, but when we have a snow this big, there's only so much we can do.
I mean,
You
if what
know,
you're asking is,
I have the same issue on my street, I have a very tiny street, and I have the same issue where, you know, my neighbor was like, well, if I leave to go to work, when I come back, I'm not gonna be able to park, someone's gonna take, but when you have a public street and people are allowed to park there, there's only so much you can do.
I couldn't even get my other car out into the street, show my driveway. I had to park it up on the other side of where that car was, on an angle like this.
We have the same issue,
You know,
where we are.
Because
And
it
my
was,
husband and I had to stack our cars in the driveway, you know, as well. So I feel your pain, but to say that there wasn't communication, I'm just saying I don't think
and you know what, and I looked
accurate.
today, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
you didn't see what? You didn't see that we're coming down Conover today? You're right.
No,
You did
no,
not
I'm
see
not
that.
saying that. I'm saying that like, hey, you know, there's trouble streets, we're coming out there, we'll be out there Monday, or something like that. You know, I don't know.
Well, we did
Not
have,
saying specific streets, but I'm
we
saying,
did have,
because the only thing I saw on your site was the thing on how to do, about the camp. That's the only thing I saw on Saturday that was posted.
don't
And then the
talk
water
to me
main
about sites, because I don't, you know I don't do any of that here. But anyway, lost my train of thought, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Communication,
Oh,
phone
anyway,
calls.
we saw it, oh, we had another big water main break. today, and I think they're still out there.
No, it's repaired.
It's repaired,
Yes.
thank God. That's a third big one in less than a week, so manpower is an issue. We heard you, we understand what you're saying, I saw what you're saying, I've seen it all over town, and the best thing as I can tell you is that we're trying to learn from our mistakes and talk about it and come up with a better plan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
You too. I love the hearts.
Oh, thanks. That's the one of my daughters with those at home.
Oh. Well, get up there and fix it.
Yeah, I want to talk.
Good evening. My name is Ellen Cribben, and I live at 8 Bound. I think that you're both familiar with me. This neighbors is my 10th month dealing with semi-tractor trailers, semis, coming down Bound and Bannard. 10 months. I've been communicating with your business administrator. I'm not getting anywhere. They're coming all hours of the night, all hours of the day. They cannot negotiate the turn without driving on our property. For the better part of the summer, every time I called the water guys to replace the cap on the water outside, that's the shut-off valve, your borough has told me that it's my lawn guys. It's really the semi-tractor trailers. They crushed one the other day. We just talked about plowing out our driveways. These guys are deliberately smashing through the snow so that we had to do it again. In January, I have 10 emails to the borough. 10 emails with hard evidence. The most recent one I sent was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The semi-tractor trailer is making a left on Bound and cannot fit, so backs up 3 times onto Bannard, and there was a man on a bike behind him. He would have died. I sent you a video 10 times in January. I've sent evidence. I called the county dispatch and had an argument with them because they tried to educate me on what a town ordinance definition was. And when I stood here 3 or 4 months ago, I said I wasn't comfortable calling the county dispatcher because I'm not their authority. I'm not their authority. I did that, I got nowhere, I got an argument. This warehouse has outgrown our community so much so that they are loading and unloading product on our streets, not inside the warehouse. One night in January, 10:30, 12:30, 3:30, 5:30. But it's also not a police matter. It's a business matter. Someone call the warehouse and tell them to stop. Give them a big congratulations for outgrowing their current property. They just don't fit on their street. The day that they unloaded and loaded product on the street, they kept waiting 3 directions of traffic. 3 directions of traffic. The 2 cars that were waiting was one of our school buses. Our school bus waited for the warehouse business to unload their product in our street. Our kids can't get home on time? I went on the website. This is where the lack of communication comes in. I went on your website because I'm done emailing. I'm very frustrated with it. You can see it. You can hear it. So I went on the website to file a quality of life complaint. Maybe that's my better bet. File a quality of life complaint every time someone comes on our property, every time they wake us up in the middle of the night, and I was told that you don't have a quality of life complaint form on your website. So I left a message. I left a message on the number. I haven't gotten a return call. That day, the truck made the left onto Bound and had the audacity to beep a car off the street so they could negotiate out of our block. I need help. I need this addressed. These trucks have broken our driveways. We had a new neighbor move in. They broke their driveway. They just did it. They just did it by hand. We broke the driveway. They knock over our garbage cans, and these guys don't stop to come back and pick them up. Not one of them got out with a shovel when they destroyed the mounds we built. I need help. 2 decades I've been here. In a year, now we deal with fumes in the morning, loud, the trucks coming down the street, downshifting. I mean, I need some help here. They idle into our windows if we leave our windows open.
We passed an ordinance recently.
Before you begin, okay, before you begin, and if I may, you will recall that this matter was brought to our attention. We asked the council to consider passing an ordinance prohibiting truck traffic during certain hours on this street. Council was gracious enough to have a public hearing on that matter and to pass that ordinance. Ms. Cribbins, is it? Cribbins has been asked on numerous occasions, when you see this occur, help us help you. Call the police department and they will send out an officer to issue a summons, okay? She has steadfastly refused to do that. Her emails say, I am not calling the police.
I won't do that.
I can't help you if the police are not alerted, and it is a police matter, okay? The chief has sent people down there to speak to them. They're aware of the
It's not
issue.
working.
Excuse me?
It's not working. The conversation didn't work.
Right. You have to call the police when this is
It's
occurring,
happening.
so that they can, and sending an email at 4 o'clock in the morning is not gonna help. You have to call the non-police,
I
non-emergency
did.
police number.
I did, and then
Okay.
I called you because they declined it. They declined to take the call. They called me back
Right.
to give me the definition of a town
We're
ordinance.
talking about 911 called you back, the county
No,
dispatch?
the county dispatch.
Oh, that's not,
Yeah, it's like a 462.
The non-emergency
That's
number
what it
goes
is.
there after hours
Right.
as well.
Right.
And when you brought this to our attention, I asked the chief to speak to dispatch about it. 100% they're required to accept those calls and to dispatch a police officer to deal with this issue. Okay, that's the way the system is supposed to work. If it's not working, we'll deal with it. But we have to know about it while it's occurring so that a summons can be issued. Later on in the day, in the afternoon, there's nothing we can do about it. It has to be brought to our attention when it's occurring.
May I ask what conversation you've had with county dispatch so I'm not the one telling them what the problem is?
Yeah, I'll
That's
defer-
not fair.
I'll defer to
I'm
the
not
chief.
I'm not their authority.
Okay, chief?
No, I'll speak to a public comment, Steve, I'll get up.
Okay,
I'm
Yeah. understood. Okay, we got what you're saying. Okay.
Right, so I would like some answers. I didn't ask for a town ordinance. When I started coming here 10 months ago, I asked the council, what is the difference between the specifications on Bound and Bannard versus Main Street? Main Street's not allowed to have these size trucks on them.
Well, that's not true.
So again, miscommunication. 10 months I've been calling and asking questions. I never get the same answer.
I
Get the same answer. I mean, a business owner is driving on my property and I want it to stop.
right, call the police.
I will. And I'm going to say that you are telling me to call the police and that's all the information I'm given.
That's fine.
I am not the authority here. I
Okay.
don't get to tell people what to do.
Understood.
Yeah. 10 months I've been
I don't mind telling
coming
people
to.
what to do, but if I don't know that, like he said, if I don't know it's happening, when it's happening, and I am an authority, well, at least I think I am, and I can't do anything about it.
But I can't spend the time to educate someone who's telling me they're not
You
sending a
don't need
police
to
officer.
educate anybody.
That's what happened.
You
though.
need to call the police when this is going on and
I
say, this is happening right now.
I did,
need
but I don't
somebody."
want to argue. So I want to
Right.
know like what
This
communication
happened-
has happened. But
This,
what communication has been front loaded to county dispatch? So they actually do send someone out because she said she wasn't.
yeah, this was brought to our attention last week. Okay, last week. I discussed it with the chief and I'm sure it's been taken care of.
10 months I've been here, Steve, emailing you.
I'm
10
at
months.
these meetings constantly. I don't remember you being here 10 months. okay?
She was here.
She was here.
I know she was here in the
She was
past,
here
but
once.
not
She was
for
here
10
and-
months.
And I've met with your other committees also, trying to find a resolution. I'll cede the floor. Thank you.
Yeah. Chief?
Should we close the public portion?
Good evening, Chris Collinaire, Chief of Police. First and foremost, I'd like to address Mr. Hoffman's complaint. Prior to the storm, Mr. Hoffman, we did develop a new strategy on the police department, did assign an administrator to work the storm, work along with DPW, in which we found we did get great result, but the amount of snow and the amount of issues, there is going to be some problems that are left. Since also spoken with DPW, Robert Lithgow, Jalissa Geltby, also to develop a follow-up plan, including the police department, to address some of the cars that get snowed in, and how to get them out and close off streets, work with the DPW to get the streets open back up and wider. With that being said, when a car is abandoned, we do issue a notice to the car, and we provide all our residents 10 days to remove the car. We just don't want to get into towing business, but with our residents, the ticket and towing business. And I understand that some cars are an issue, but what residents need to be reminded is, you have to let us know. Let us go out. If a car is determined that there's debris under and around a vehicle, that it's been in the street, parked for a long period of time, we will address it. If the car is unregistered, uninsured, we'll tow it. But we just, because when a car is parked and our officers are driving down the street, we're not essentially just looking at the car and say, oh, I think that car's been there for X amount of days. We're gonna have to, need some, at least a complaint from a residents to help us out so we can address the abandoned vehicles. And Councilman Freeman knows that we have in the past, and we have gone out, we've addressed trailers, broken down cars, and we do remove them. And I'm sorry, just some cars will go unnoticed. It just happens. As far as Ms. Griffin's complaint, no, please call the police department, and if you don't get what you, the response from the dispatch that you should be getting, and an officer addresses the complaint, then you can call, leave your name, your number, and ask for the police supervisor who's on duty to contact you, and your complaint will be handled. As far as the complaints of the vehicles on the street, I believe the town ordinance addressed that deliveries have to be made between 8:30 and 5:30. So therefore, if a truck is on the road between 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., if I am correct, it's not in violation of the ordinance. Furthermore, the patrol lieutenant has been directed to have an officer go to each business on Bernard Street and provide them again with a copy of the ordinance to ensure that they are following the local ordinance as far as the deliveries. We'll continue to do everything we can to assist our residents, to assist the council, Mr. Gallo, with addressing these issues. The officers on the department, I couldn't be more proud of them. They work very hard. I'm sorry if some complaints that don't get addressed in a timely manner that some people think they need to, but our officers are out there each day trying to do the best and protect and serve the residents of Freehold Borough. Thank you.
Can I just ask a quick question? Even during the hours of 8:30 to 5, or 8 to 5:30, whatever the hours are, if it's causing property damage, she should call then as well? So that
If a
it's
vehicle does,
documented?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But
I
I'm
just
saying
wanted
as
to
far as
clarify
on the
that.
street, they can be on the street. I know there was a
Yeah, but
recent,
if they're causing property damage.
They're breaking
then
pipes.
That's another,
that should be reported, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
I just wanted to.
And I have, if the businesses are accepting deliveries at 4 a.m., we find the businesses?
No, it would be the operator of the truck.
Truck.
They're violating the ordinance by going down the street at that hour.
So
And the businesses need to let them know that they're no longer allowed to accept deliveries at that time.
So can we have an ordinance that doesn't allow the business to accept delivery? That way the business gets the ticket. Because here's what happens, the truck driver, I deal with these guys all the time, behind the CVS. It's 11:30, you can't have your tractor trailer in this lot. I don't give an S, my company will pay the ticket anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't care. I'm guessing these truck drivers, they don't give one rat's about a ticket or the
But
problem.
who's opening the business to let them in at 4
Well,
a.m.?
As
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't-
So,
you
I
can't-
mean, that is sort of, you know, if we can, clearly the business is accepting delivery at 4 in the morning. We need to have a conversation with, or,
Well, and the chief indicated that that's occurring. I will tell you that, you know, we don't want to be punitive to our businesses
No.
as well. Hopefully, they'll be cooperative, and they'll instruct their distributors, don't come to our premises before this time. And we'll follow up and make sure that they understand that. If it continues to occur, we can consider passing an ordinance that, you know, makes it punitive for them as well.
Sir, if I was going to
Jeff,
speak,
you
do I
hit the
stand
nail
up
right on the
here?
head. I mean, if your business is doing that good, you dictate when you're supplying
Right.
the house.
I mean, we have to think about some of these penalties. You know, it's like the shoveling of the sidewalks. If it costs $200 to have your shovel sidewalk for a business and ticket's $75, there are some business people that are just not gonna shovel their sidewalks and pay the $75 instead of the $200. So we have to think about these things in ways, how are we gonna encourage certain people to act a certain way? And some of that's only through the pocket.
If I may, I don't understand the difference of why they fit in the street, on the street during the day and don't fit on the street at night. The street hasn't changed. During the day, they're still backing up. The day that I called
Because that
county
was a
dispatch,
manufacturing zone for 150
not
years.
with these size trucks. Box trucks, yes, the big box trucks, yes, not a semi-tractor trailer.
I don't think you heard what he said. It was in use many, many years ago. The trucks have gotten bigger. The businesses, yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
But the roads don't get bigger over 100 years.
So the day that I followed direction and called the county dispatcher, there were 2 semi-tractor trailers on that little street there. From Throckmorton to the beginning of Bannard, and I think I'm missing the R, and one trying to come off the street. So they were playing bumper cars, trying to get 2 semi-tractor trailers out of the,
So on that particular day, when you called, was police dispatched? Or that's when you got?
the first time. Hours before that, the second time they said no. They called back to give me the clear definition of what a town ordinance is, which did not hit well, and said she wasn't sending someone out.
How long ago was this?
Last week,
This was a county dispatch.
I believe it's that 462 number.
Was it counties?
And it was during the hours of 8 to 5:30?
Yep.
Or?
It was during the day. It was during the day. They don't fit during the day. I imagine you live on the narrow street that I live on. Think about a tractor trailer coming down. Think about one coming in at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, that's just,
All right, so.
I think I've been
as the
heard,
chief-
and I
as the
do
chief-
appreciate
as
it.
the Chief said, call.
Yeah, I
Soon
did
as
actually
it
hear that.
happens, call.
Yep.
And
And ask for the
See what
police
happens.
supervisor on duty.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
thank you. Anyone else from the public care to address the governing body?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
second,
Roll call, please.
Councilperson DeBenedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Our public comment section is closed. We'll, item 13 are council reports and comments. Start off with Council President Freeman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Steve said during his report, we hired the new couple code people, so our new enforcement division is starting to work. They were out last week, 71 tickets for the shoveling of sidewalks. There are more being issued, and you know this is going to get ramped up. Property maintenance issues are going to get addressed. We are going to take care of these problems that have persisted for a long time. Outside of that, everyone please stay warm. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schutzer.
Yes. I want to offer our condolences to the Federici family at the loss of the matriarch, Patricia Federici, and to the Sorcher family for the passing of Larry Sorcher. Those of you who have lived here for a while know that he was the owner of Al's Bootery and a very colorful man. Both of those people were freehold, loved freehold, and we miss them. condolences to their families. And the only other thing I have, because maybe I should say this publicly and it will get more action and attention than I've gotten so far, there is no bathroom here. So I am stopping. Thank you for coming in. And we better make it fast. Such class.
Thank you.
You'll be sorry.
Councilmember Benedetto.
Oh, Sharon, I've never had this so much balance.
Right.
My condolences to Federici's family also. I remember when after Spat died, and then my father gave me the business. My one job in Friday nights was to save Patsy's spot.
To do what?
Save her spot.
Oh.
And when all went wrong in that family, they didn't go to the father, they went to the mother to resolve all the problems. My condolences also to Al Sorcher. He could sell ice to an Esteban. He could sell some shoes, man. I remember as a little kid going there and he sold me a good pair of shoes. First one in Monmouth County to have shoes, he told me. Yeah, right. I sold 10 more guys that day. My condolences to Buckus family, one of our honorees to get a street named after him. Honorary. And well, he'll be missed. To Richie, the original sub king who opened Sorrento's. And he had a license plate to prove it that said sub king. I'll never forget that. I thought it was the coolest thing when I was a little kid. His own license plate. But thank you for coming out. My thanks to our road department for all the hard work. I went down and met with them a few times. Was down there again today talking to Joe. Hopefully we'll get some more ice in, Steve, and keep trucking on. But have patience, people. We will be out. Thank you for all your concerns. We heard what you said. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilmember Jordan.
Thank you. Just two quick things. Summer camp registration is open. It opened up yesterday. The flyers out there. You can also use the QR code to register children. It goes from June 29th to July 31st. It's $100 for our Vernon residents. And we're also hiring counselors. Again, for the length of the season, and all applications on that have to be in by the 15th of March. That's all I got.
Thank you. Councilmember Rogers.
Thank you. I just wanted to again thank the HRAC Secretary Jenny Conger for coming out and sharing the report. And I also want to reiterate that we do hear you guys, and we do try and do things that help, and we just need you to keep calling. That's the only way we know that this stuff is going on. We do try to communicate and to put information out there. I'm on the borough page every day, just, making sure that, we see things, and we, all of us, many of us, except Sharon, are on the, Bureau Borough Talks page, so we see things on there as well and try to address them, although we prefer that those things come through the portal. But, we hear you, we do, and we will keep trying until we get the solution that works. Whether it's getting snow off the road or getting trucks to, abide by the rules and bring smaller trucks or whatever needs to be done, we will continue to work to get the right solution. So I thank you both for coming out tonight, and I thank everyone who was here this evening for coming out. And let's see, what else can I say now? Just kidding. Thank you.
Maggie.
Thank you. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will be as quick as Sharon wants me to be. Thank you for staying with us tonight. We appreciate it. As we said, we hear you. We're working on it. Give us a little more time to make it right. We'll do our best to make it right. I'd like to say congratulations to Kevin O'Brien and Charlie Cascalia for their service to the squad. Charlie always calls me young man whenever I speak to him. I don't know if it's because I'm younger than him or he actually thinks that I'm still a young man, but I really appreciate that. He's always been a nice guy to be around. I want to thank the Human Relations Advisory Committee as well for coming out tonight and giving their annual report. It's a pleasure to work with them on the committee, and I'm looking forward to great things coming from 2026. Happy Groundhog's Day. He saw a shadow. It's 6 more weeks of winter. I have a friend who's in the news business that says that if he was properly lit, he wouldn't see a shadow at all. Last but not least, the Memorial Day Parade sponsorship letters are going out to sponsor the 2026 parade, and we are bringing back the Orchestra of St. Peter by the Sea, conducted by Father Alphonse Stevenson, on Saturday, May 16th, at the First Presbyterian Church of Freehold. Doors open at 6:30, concerts at 7. It's $45 a ticket. The parade committee has hard tickets, and we are working with Downtown Freehold to set up a payment portal. The tickets can be purchased by credit card online. As soon as we have that, flyers will go up with QR codes. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Just real quick, condolences to, everybody that was mentioned. People that come back to town, talk about the Freehold food trifecta, Federici's Pizza, Sorrento Subs, Jersey Freeze ice cream. So, Mrs. Fed, I spent a lot of time in the Federici household growing up. She was just a great lady, and I was the paper boy for Sorrento Subs when they were on South Street back in the day. So Richie was a character, but they built, both built successful businesses, and Larry Al Sorcha too. So this storm, the amount of snow, but the problem is these cold temperatures after has just created problems like you can't believe. And we're working on, as Chief said, everybody's brainstorming, trying to figure this out. But patience is going to be the key. Talking to everybody in other towns, everybody's going through the same thing. But we will get there, and we'll keep working hard. The problem is that day that it started on Sunday, went into Monday, it just taxed the crew that very first day, and we've been playing catch up ever since. And the cold temps have just compounded the issue. So, but we will fix it, and we will fix that problem on Bound and Banner.
Thank you.
We will fix that. So, thank you. Thank you all for coming out. Stay warm. There being no further business. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Yes. Schuster?